Start. Welcome to Goenka Fun with me, Suraj Nandrekar. Today we are here at the iconic restaurant Soza Lobo. We all know that on 28th December night, the restaurant was ransacked by the goons of a Delhi businessman. We are here to talk to the owner, Mr. Jude Lobo, and find out what exactly happened on the night of December 28th. Come. Hello, Mr. Jude.
Hi.
Hello.
Come.
Yeah. Let's have a seat. So, how are you, Mr. Jude?
Good.
How are things?
Things
How was the New
hopefully
Year?
will get better.
How was the New
from
Year?
Mela. New Year was crowded as usual.
Yeah.
So we'll see now.
Mr. Jude, actually we came here to know about what exactly happened on the night of 28th December, and we came to know that this is the third attack on your restaurant in last 2 years or so. Can you just tell us something about it?
So the problem actually started in November 2020, on the 8th of November, when Rajiv, along with around 40 to 50 goons that time, came and broke down and attacked our staff. So after that, what we did was we filed a complaint against him. An FIR has been launched, and we put a complaint on his illegal structure also that has come up. Now because of that, what is a civil matter, he turned it entirely into a criminal matter. We had an issue with the traditional pathway that leads to the restaurant. Now what he has done, because of that, the Panchayat has passed a demolition order on his structure.
Yeah.
And with that frustration, he is going all out to trouble us in any and every way possible.
Okay. You said that the police have not been helping you. Is it true?
Right. So, right from the first incident, when we complained, the police have not been doing the investigation thoroughly.
Okay.
And every time we went to them and questioned them about the status of the first attack, even which was more than a year ago, they said it's still going on. Investigation is going on. But as to my knowledge, they have not been investigating anything. It's just thrown on the back burner. And what is happening is that every time you go to them, they'll on the quiet tell you, pressure's coming from top. Pressure's coming from top. Now, who that pressure is coming from? Why so much pressure?
Yeah. No, but who is this guy? Have you had any conversation with this guy?
I met Rajiv
Yeah.
Arora. So I met Rajiv Arora, and initially, but he was, even when he had put out an ad in the newspaper to buy the property, we had sent a letter to his advocate saying that there is an existing traditional pathway that is there on the western side of the property.
Okay.
So knowingly he has bought.
Okay.
It is not that he was not knowing about the pathway, not knowing about this, that. For them what happens is, no matter whatever is there, they can think that with money they can break any and every rule possible.
Okay.
And it's come to an extent where they don't care about law and order, because they feel with money they can buy everyone.
So the whole issue is about the pathway, or
It started with the pathway.
Yeah.
Then later on, he tried to frame me with fake cases which he registered in Delhi.
Yeah.
So initially he tried an extortion case. Then he sent a notice to me, my wife, and Walter Lobo. And then after that, he tried to register our name and brand, which is Soza Lobo, in Delhi, which is already a trademark and a copyright of mine. After that, Delhi police came to Goa to arrest me in a rape case.
Okay.
Yeah. So for that, we fortunately I wasn't here at that moment. And after getting bail, we were called for interrogation there, which there even they tried to, fabricate things. They tried to plant things. They took even my phone. And they wanted me to do a medical when they have not done a medical of the lady. Okay. So to that extent, so we had to go right up to the Supreme Court and get a bail. After that also he went around to many people locally who are known to be like troublemakers and try and start the business over here. But no one agreed to him until and unless he found this guy now, who's Gajendra Singh Chotu, who's already a noted criminal, and he thought with his help he could do whatever he wants to do.
So basically, then did you complain to Goa police? And Goa police, did you meet any DGP or the chief minister? Did you try to explain to him?
In the first instance, even we met the chief minister, we met the SP, the DSP, the DGP. Letters were given to all of them. So it's not that they didn't know about the incident. Everyone knew about the first incident, but they didn't realize that till what extent this guy is capable of going. Today my entire family is in fright, especially my children. They don't even want to go out of the house. Now in such a situation, I am thinking now whether I should even continue this or no. I am reached at that point in life that a 90-year-old restaurant which is being run by me for the past 30 years. Today I am thinking, should I continue running here? Is it worth the life of my family? According to me, it's not worth. So unless and until they book the culprits and get them to put them in jail and get this thing sorted out once and for all, I will have to.
So basically, you say that you have contacted the CM, the DGP, but was there no help coming from them?
When we went to the CM called the DGP in front of us. But I don't know where in between the connection is being lost.
So do you think the local politicians are involved in this?
Probably. There is one for sure. I am just trying to figure out the exact link. So that's why I don't want to bring out his name. But in future I will bring out his name because he is behind all this.
So now after that you said that the local police also were involved.
Yes.
They were not helping you. So are you happy with the suspension of P.I. Raposo?
Actually, I am very happy. I am very happy with the suspension of P.I. Raposo. I am very happy that the crime branch has taken over. I am very happy now that the crime branch is going in the right direction. Okay. And hopefully they will give me justice that I have been waiting for all this time.
Okay. So now after that, after the crime branch, did they call you and ask you what happened?
I went for 2 days now to the crime branch. Yesterday as well as day before yesterday.
I mean to ask you whether the case is progressing in the right direction.
Yes. So they wanted my part of the statement also because I was present when the attack happened. So right now the investigation is going on, and so I don't want to give out everything because let them do the investigation. Let the police bring out all the facts. let them do a proper investigation and get the culprits, because I saying something could lead to, like, them maybe weakening the case. So that's why I would not like to get into any details of the investigation.
No, there is a discrepancy in whatever statements are coming in. See, some people are saying there is a shootout, there was a shootout. Some are saying that the shootout was from inside, from your own people. Some are saying that the police is saying there was no shootout. So what exactly happened? Can you just tell us, take us to the night of 28 December? What exactly happened then?
Sure. So I was in the restaurant.
Yeah.
As soon as a boy came running to me, he said there is a group of guys who have come at the entrance and they are making a lot of commotion. So I went out. I asked them what is the problem. But they were just shouting over there. I told them whatever problem is there, you all please go at the side and settle it out by yourself. After that, I started walking in. They agreed first initially that they will not enter the premises. And as soon as I turned and I started walking in, they started pelting stones, bottles, and another 20-30 of them, or maybe even more, came running from where I don't know, with rods and all types of weapons possible. So as soon as that happened, what we did was we went to the gate, the entrance of the restaurant, and we locked the restaurant. Unfortunately, some of the boys who were there outside got caught up in the fight, our boys also, and they were beaten up very badly. Two of them are still in bad shape. They are admitted in GMC. One is quite critical. I hope and pray that they come out of this first. And as for the rest, none of us were injured or nothing happened to us. Customers, everyone, all of them were safe.
So what about the shootout exactly?
The shootout, basically what happened was, when I entered the restaurant, I heard two shots, like two gunshots, but I don't know who shot them or what happened over there, because we just ran inside because of all the pelting of stones and bottles and people coming with rods and knives and everything. And all the CCTV footage and the DVRs have been taken by the police. So they are in the crime branch and they are investigating.
Mr. Lobo, exactly, I just wanted to know. See, you said you went to the Chief Minister, DGP. Did you ever speak to the local MLA, Michael Lobo?
We spoke. I went, even my wife went. We both went and spoke to the local MLA. Initially, when the first incident happened, he promised total and support to us, because he knew what happened was wrong. And now later on, I have heard that Rajiv Arora also has gone and met him. After that also he had called me to settle the issue, for which we refused, because since a criminal case is pending on me, unless and until I come out clean from that, I will not settle anything with Rajiv Arora or anyone for that matter.
So basically the thing is, see, you are the second person after Ricardo D'Souza who had also complained that the local authorities are troubling or not allowing the locals to carry on with their business.
Right.
Do you also have the similar sentiment? Share the similar sentiment?
Absolutely. What Ricardo faced is no exception to only Ricardo or to me. It is for everyone, but people are scared to talk. Just because we can talk, we have a platform to talk, we can come in the open and talk. But there are other hundreds of people who are suffering in the same way, and they are not able to voice their opinion because they are scared. They are scared that they'll be targeted again and again, and they don't have that much of backing to fight any one of them.
Thank you, Mr. Jude. It was nice talking to you. You just actually told us what exactly happened on the night of 28th and how you have been suffering for last 2 years. People will now have that doubts clear what exactly happened on that night, because nobody knew what exactly happened.
Right.
And we are thankful to you for telling us all these things.
You're most welcome.
Thank you very much from our viewers. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.